Okay, so he says, hi, I have a website that's most of its articles doesn't have any keywords in the Google Webmaster tool and no traffic from Google, knowing that all the articles are optimized for SEO. I'm not sure what that means. Are they indexed? I'm not really following the question. I have a website that most of its articles don't have any keywords in the Google Webmaster tool and no traffic from Google, knowing that all the okay, so they might be optimized articles, but are they indexed? That's the thing. So here's something you can do is just go to Google search, type in site colon, S-I-T-E colon, and then put in the domain. So whatever, domain.com, whatever your domain is, put site colon domain.com, and it will show you what the indexed pages are. You can also, inside of Search Console, the new interface, you can also look and see which pages are indexed. And if they are indexed and it's not showing any keyword data, then as far as I know, in Search Console, if somebody performs a search query and Google gives your web page an impression, pretty much no matter where it is in the search results, as long as I think it's in the top 10 pages, it will register as an impression in Search Console and will show you the query that provided that impression or that triggered that impression. Whether it gets a click or not, that's not the point. It should show an impression. So if you're not seeing any impressions for search queries for the keywords that your articles are optimized, to me, that's a non-indexed article. But if it's indexed and it's not seeing impressions, that means it's not in the top 100, which means there's probably a penalty issue on that domain. There's a quality issue there somewhere if it's not registering in the top 100. And guys, I could be wrong. The Google Search Console might show even beyond impressions, even beyond 100, position 100. I just can't recall off the top of my head. Because again, that's a great optimization strategy for content, guys, is to go into Search Console, sort by impressions, and then make sure that you have average ranking position enabled too, so that you sort by impressions and look for stuff that's getting a shit ton of impressions, but the average ranking position is on page 2 or 3 or something like that, right? So position, 11 to 20 or 21 to 30. And those are pieces of content or web pages that you could do a little bit of additional SEO work and start generating a ton of traffic from, because Google is saying this query is getting a lot of impressions and your page has been identified as relevant, but it's not relevant enough to be on the first page. So those are really good opportunities to optimize that content, do a little additional work, and then start generating a lot of additional traffic. Does that make sense? So if you're not seeing impressions for the keywords that your content is optimized, it's either non-indexed or there's a penalty of some sort levied against it, is what is my assumption. And I would also look at the manual actions or manual notifications in Search Console to see, is there any spam notifications or anything like that? Okay.
This is one of those times where I would go into Google Analytics rather than Google Webmaster Tools. Well, and I also have a question. Ayub, I think your name is, I think that's how it's pronounced. If I'm messing it up, sorry, didn't mean to. But I'd want to know what the age of this website is. It could have 1 million optimized articles that are optimized for SEO. If it's a day old, it makes no difference. You're not going to get anything out of it. You might, but I want to see analytics, because not all traffic is good traffic.
It's true.
And not all signals are good signals, because if you're getting some traffic, but that traffic is hitting the back button, or it's a bounce, rather than good traffic that's dwelling on your website, that's taking action, that's clicking through, doing all of the things that a normal person would do, then that's seen as negative. So you could be getting negative because it's optimized for SEO instead of being optimized for the audience that's going to read the article.
Correct.
You have to do two things. SEO optimization is fine, but if it reads like an SEO optimized article rather than an article that I want to read, I'm not going through it. I'm not going to bother, because I want to read something interesting, something that's going to grab my attention. I'm sure most other people in your niche are looking for the same thing, unless you're in the SEO niche where you're trying to grab SEO. So all of these things come into play. Google Webmaster Tools is a fine tool, and you can use it, as Bradley said, but go into analytics and see what kind of signals you're getting and what kind of signals you're sending back to Google, according to if you're getting any traffic. And if not, then again, that's a problem, and it could just be that you have some serious issues with the website and penalties, so that it's not being served to anyone.
Yeah, that's called visitor behavior. Look at the in analytics. Look at the visitor behavior um, reports, and you'll see how people come and how they interact, and you'll also see if the traffic that comes in, if they go from one page to another, you'll see the flow that they took through their journey of your like clicking links through your site and that kind of stuff. That's look at that. That's true. That's also something. However, I would think that if he's getting traffic from if analytics is showing traffic, then I would assume there would be impressions at least registering in Search Console too. You know what I mean? So it's interesting though.